Bry's Comics.
Welcome back to another installment of the $100 long box video series here on Bry's Comics. In this video, we're going to go over 4 long boxes, and I'm going to condense it and make it a more digestible video and show you what treasures we actually found in those 4 boxes, including that stack of keys that are potentially heading off to CGC. But I also want to remind you that we have a monthly giveaway here on the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, comment, and like, you're entered to win a free slab. And if you head over to bryscomics.com and sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win a free slab each and every month. And that's also where you get first access to discount codes, new collections, new inventory that comes through the shop, mystery boxes right around the corner from another mystery box, and use code COLLECT10 for 10% off all in-stock items at bryscomics.com, and that code is always active. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I recently picked up this collection that had 17 long boxes in it. The seller himself offered up the price of $100 per long box, to which I said yes, of course, because I knew it was somewhat decent stuff. So I blindly purchased all of it. I didn't know exactly what was in it, but at the price of $100 per long box, it was absolutely worth the risk. And I recently did a video a couple videos ago where we crunched all the numbers of 3 long boxes. So up until now, I've processed 3 long boxes, crunched all the numbers from that, and did a whatnot sale and everything. If you haven't checked out that video, I highly recommend it if it interests you at all about the ins and outs of selling a collection. A lot of really useful information in that video. But we found out that if it was the same quality of stuff in the rest of the boxes, I stand to make a profit of about $7,000 when it's all said and done. Hundreds of hours later, hundreds and hundreds of shipments and packages later, you know, dozens of whatnot shows later, about $7,000 profit. Some people mentioned in that video, yeah, well, what about the taxes you pay? And they're absolutely right. So I would have to pay income tax on the $7,000 profit. So take home around $4,000. And thank you to everyone who's provided input about, you know, what I should do as far as a kickback to the seller, because I do want to do something nice for him, because it absolutely was a win of a deal. So in this video, we're going to go through 4 boxes all at once. And I got to tell you, I was a little bit concerned at first, like, uh-oh, maybe it's not the same quality stuff in the rest of the boxes, and I'll explain more about that. Let me flip the camera around. So I think I'm starting to understand how this collection is organized and stuff. You'll get a lot of boxes like this one where you just have like you know, a really decent sized run of a certain title. Like this is all Amazing Spider-Man, like 150 to, you know, 280, something like that, and then some later issues as well. And then you have boxes like this that are all Batman. So this is a whole run of Batman and the Outsiders, and then there's other Batman related stuff in there, Detective Comics. So it is organized like that. And when I went through about 3 boxes, I was like, man, there's not a whole lot of keys. I didn't pull anything out of, I think it was these 2 to be graded. And then I found boxes like this. And so in boxes like this, you'll have like mini series, you'll have like new stuff. So like, you know, this is something that he picked up at the comic book shop, and then there'll be like bam, 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 just key after key after key after key. So I think like maybe he would work on one box at a time, put the stuff that he was collecting and reading in there. Maybe he picked up some key issues that he found on eBay, some hot titles and stuff like that. So these are actually the boxes that I think are going to be more profitable, because there's a lot of stuff like this, like stuff that he was reading and stuff that's not obviously going to bring a lot of profit, but then those keys mixed in there, which we will get to here in just a sec. I'll go through that whole stack, is stuff that would be worth grading if it's high enough grade. And the thing about these 4 boxes, not a single book is going to be bulked out. This is my bulk out box. It's got that much from, I don't know, what are we up to now? 7 boxes that we've done. So none of it needs to really be bulked out in the sense that like it's like dollar bin stuff or less. It's all stuff that's like desirable, can be brought to whatnot, that'll make some really cool sets, and you know, stuff like that. First cover appearance of Nebula, Punisher invades the Nom. I mean, it's like, you know, it's not dollar bin, and it's also not like $20-$30. This is a really interesting one. Bat Hulk. I have never seen Bat Hulk. It's kind of interesting, like crossing over to Marvel there, which is really weird. So let me just show you quickly. I'm not going to go through everything, but I'll just show you the type of stuff. Tons of Batman from this run. Like, it'll make some nice runs of Batman. Then you have like these are all Moon Knight #1s, including the Scotty Young one, which is awesome. That one actually might be worth getting graded, but I think it'll make such a cool set, just a Moon Knight #1 set, that we'll just keep it that way. Joker #2, first appearance of Vengeance. So this box had a lot of like modern stuff that I think he was just collecting and reading. And I'll just quickly flip through. Some of this detective stuff might actually be bulked out, like some of that newer detective stuff. That I actually might bulk out. But then over here, these are some cool, there's that Splat Moon Knight. And then back here we have some World's Finest 15 centers and even a bunch of World's Finest 12 centers, which I found out in my last sale do not go for much. I mean, people are willing to pay like $4 or $5 in some cases for stuff like that, which is just crazy to me. Then we have this set right here, this run of Ghost Rider. This is actually a first appearance in this one, Ghost Rider #2. That probably would be worth getting graded in 9.8. And this whole run, this is Ghost Rider Volume 2. A really nice set of the run, not the entire thing, but some really cool covers in there for Ghost Rider. This is just going to be like a Batman run from that era. This is going to be Batman Night Quest, that whole arc, and Batman like 490 through 500 and something. Over here we have Amazing Spider-Man. This annual, I think it's a minor key for #17, and then like a whole run here. This is Amazing Spider-Man Annual 2, so these are all the annuals. And then a really nice run of Amazing Spider-Man. This is all Amazing Spider-Man, so that will all make some really nice sets. And then over here we have this Batman and the Outsiders. I think #1 I might have sent off to get graded, or maybe it's in one of these other boxes, but and this is all Batman and this detective DC stuff, a bunch of 100-page DC stuff. There's some minor keys in this little segment, the 800s of Detective Comics. I think there's some minor keys in there. Some more from the Batman run. And some stuff is really desirable. These are also in really high grade, which makes them a lot easier to sell. Some from the Joker run. So some really cool runs and reading material. And, speaking of which, if you are somebody, I was thinking about this earlier, at these Whatnot shows, you might be able to pick up like a whole John Byrne run of Batman. I think it's like 480 through 490, something like that. You can pick up a little run of Batman 480 to 490 for maybe $15-20 on Whatnot, which, by the way, if you're new to Whatnot and you use my link down in the description, you get $15 towards your first purchase. So you could pick up a nice little arc or run of Batman for free. And, the only reason I mention this is even if it's not for free, for the price of $15 or $20, if you're somebody who will binge watch a series on Netflix, I'd recommend that maybe you'll binge read a little run from Batman for the price that you pay. I think the entertainment value is something that we just don't really do that much. If you're a reader, if you're not a reader, I suggest that you try it. Binge read some Batman stuff, especially if you can get it at an affordable price. Let's take a look over here at these keys. All right, so we got Batman 666, the first and only cameo appearance of Professor Pig. Amazing Spider-Man #212, first appearance of Hydro Man. Amazing Spider-Man #5, the first cover appearance and second appearance of Cindy Moon as Silk, and you gotta love the art on that. And there she is right there, first cover appearance of Silk. I believe this is the first Spider-Punk Batman 500. I just love this book. This looks like a possible 9.8. It's got the die cut cover, it's got the foil on the cover, it's got it all. RoboCop #1, surprisingly, I believe it's worth grading in a 9.8. I'm gonna have to check prices on that. Batman 450, just a killer Joker cover. Punisher #1 and 2 from the first limited series. Ghost Rider #1, bam, 2 copies of that. Batman number 635. Bam, bam, 2 copies of that. X-Force number 2, second appearance of Deadpool, and X-Force number 11. These I think are worth getting grading in a 9.8. I just put them together because why not? Credible Hulk 377. Bam, bam, 2 copies of that. Still looking for a 9.8 copy of the 3rd print for my personal collection. That's the one with the yellow background. And here we go, guys. Let the memes in the comments begin. Darkhawk number 1. Bam, 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 bam. 5 copies right there. Super minty. Is this book synonymous now with Swaggle and Aaron from Josh's Comic Books? If it is, I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it being synonymous with those 2 good fellows. But, you know, I think, what do you guys say? Best comment gets pinned for me finding 5 copies of Darkhawk in this collection. Amazing Spider-Man 344. Bam, bam, bam. 3 copies of that. First appearance of Cletus. Batman 457. Bam, bam, bam. 3 copies of that. I would love to actually finally find a 9.8. I've never pulled a 9.8 out of a collection for this book, and I see it all the time in collections. So just the principle of the matter to be able to actually get a 9.8 out of that. Batman 638. Deadpool number 1's a variant. It might be an incentive, which is why I pulled that one. I pulled this one because it looks like Neil Adams, and it just looks like it's just so awesome. I don't know. I'm going to check if that's worth getting graded or not. Dead of Night number 1. That was really cool to see. You're going to have to check prices on that. Namor number 1. I think it's worth grading in a 9.8. Same with this. I'm not sure if either of those are 9.8s. Batman 635. I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd copy I've pulled out of this collection of that. And last but not least, Omega Man number 3, the first appearance of Lobo. So that's it for those 4 long boxes. Those are the best books out of it that we just looked at one by one. I think these boxes are about the same quality as the first 3 boxes we pulled, which is what we're hoping for. If they're the same quality throughout, that is fantastic. I'm still keeping a tally of all my time and all of the sales and resources. So at the end of this whole venture, we'll have a final tally of what was made and what was taken home, which I think will be a really interesting and valuable video. Don't forget to follow me over on Whatnot if you're interested in any of these books. Link down in the description for $15 towards your first purchase. We also have that monthly giveaway here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, and like, and use code COLLECT10 at BryceComics.com for 10% off all in-stock items. Thank you, as always, for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bryce Comics.